Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi, I said I'll be back again really soon, but of course there's so much going on, there is so much to cover. We knew that this was going to be a busy few days with Meghan then joining Harry for the final farewell tour. A farewell tour which is basically the Meghan Markle show. She's got a brand new wardrobe, again going into the thousands of pounds. I have never come across a woman that can spend like her in my life. Meghan is ensuring that she is getting absolute maximum coverage. She has her personal photographer follow her everywhere, Chris Allerton, who was the only photographer allowed to do like the Archie christening pictures, and then it was private wedding pictures. This is all to do with their control of what the media can and can't have, but obviously when they go to public events there are some sneaky photos that get out that don't always paint them in such a glamorous light, which I'll come to later on. So not content with upsetting Camilla, as it turns out, apparently they've also upset Charles. They apparently accidentally on purpose walked into an investiture that Prince Charles was holding at Buckingham Palace. Guests were in the ballroom waiting for their honours, and then these two stumbled through, basically ensuring that the chit chat became suddenly about them. I'd imagine this probably put Charles's nose out of joint. They deliberately did it on purpose. What are these two playing at? I mean, it's bad enough obviously everything that they've caused, the negativity to the royal family, and now on their final farewell tour, what are they doing? Just deliberately trying to upset every single member of their family. You think they'd be a bit more careful with upsetting old Charlie boy though, because he is the one that still has the basically the checkbook. But I don't think this seems to bother them. The Queen and Charles, as I said in my previous video, have done nothing to rein these two in, so you can only presume that Charles is happy to let this behaviour continue. So to mark International Women's Day, Meghan went and visited a school yesterday. It was called the Robert Clack Upper School, and she apparently arrived with helicopter with a lot of police in tow. Apparently, I don't know how true this is, but quite a few parents and students were turned away from school because they did not have the correct ID to get anywhere in the school, because Meghan Markle was there. As I said, this is reports that have come out across social media and the news. How true it is, I don't know. But if that is true, that's pretty shocking, isn't it? That you can't get into your school because Meghan's decided to pay a visit. So what great tips and advice was Meghan there to hand out to the children? Well, one, she gave a speech to the boys telling them that they need to look after the women in their lives, which, given how she treats everybody in her life, I find it very, very hypocritical that she could be asking anyone to treat anyone better in their own lives. But International Women's Day, treat women kinder in your life. Basically set examples for the men that don't actually do this. Has she taken a swipe at someone who knows at this point? More alarmingly though, she did do her typical word salad, where she basically started riling up the masses of the teenagers, telling them that you stand up for everything. If you disagree with something, you fight for it. You go against absolutely everything, you know. And that to me is like, you're encouraging teenagers to have a little bit of anarchy, really. And what happens if what the kids think is wrong? So what they're meant to basically go up against everything without having reason, without, you know, fight what you believe in, of course, but there's no kind of like encouragement of debate. And I just think that the teachers might have a little bit of hell after her visit, because no miss, I'm not doing my homework. Meghan empowered me, and I have decided that I don't feel that I should have to do it. It's pretty cringy when Meghan is quoted saying that she's giving them the power. Wow, oh my God, she has literally got the kind of Messiah God complex, hasn't she? She's given them the power. She-Ra, I have the power. I remember that cartoon when I was a kid. She also, there was I think he was like a head boy. He came up and he gave a speech while she was there. Meghan just did her typical, I don't know whether she's flirting or not really. You know, it's all very giggly and silly, very unprofessional. And she gave the boy a really good hug. And I don't know, he's a teenage boy. She's a 40-something-year-old woman. She's there on a professional capacity. Shaking hands is appropriate. I think giving them cuddles. I'm not unaffectionate at all. I cuddle my family. I cuddle my nieces, my nephews, and my close friends. But would I cuddle a complete stranger to that? I find it, I don't know. I just don't agree with it. Next up, we have the Mountbatten Music Festival, which took place. Meghan and Harry arrived. There are no video footage of them arriving or leaving. I believe this is to do with certain coverage of crowd control and booing. I really do believe this. I think that they are trying to cover up because obviously members of the public would probably be outside. That's why there is no normal footage. This is going to be his last time wearing that uniform. Not that he's had that particular piece of uniform very long, serving as the Captain General, which I think he only took the position 18 months, 2 years ago off of his granddad. And obviously Harry's walking away from the Marines. I thought personally that he looked really unkempt. He could have had that beard tidied up. He just looked, I don't know if Harry's upset, but he just looks broken. He looks tired, he looks exhausted, but he was slouching. It's not behaving, or not the behaviour of someone representing such a high rank in the military. Meghan's dress looked absolutely stunning. I don't think it was appropriate being in the same colour as his uniform. I've never seen that before. I have been to military balls myself. I have never ever seen women wearing dresses that match the sort of the dress, the uniform of the partner that they're with. Quite a few people mentioned this on social media as well. I just don't think it's the done thing. Meghan naturally was introducing herself first to people. Harry does let her do this, so this is definitely something that Harry is encouraging. But to be honest with you, he looks battered, he looks broken, he looks completely unwell still. But I didn't feel, after his behaviour recently, obviously him going to the Disney premiere rather than going to the memorial concert for the Marines, I'm sure that's probably left a bitter taste in several people's mouths that were there. But what can you say, what can you do? A few people were upset that there was a standing ovation, but the difference is this wasn't a public gallery. They're all military personnel with their partners. They will show respect. Harry is still representing the Queen, and he is still ranked as, although it's an honorary title at the moment, but the Captain General. Military will pay respect. But if you look at the close-up of people's faces when they're applauding and clapping, Harry's got a face like a slapped ass. Meghan is, as I always say, grinning like a Cheshire cat. She is completely oblivious to what this must be doing for her husband. I don't think she's supporting him at all. She's just loving the limelight, the rapture, the applause. But if you look around the people around them, there's quite a few people that just look like they're clapping, but they're not even looking at them. Some people are looking at them in absolute disbelief. I think Harry has upset quite a lot of the people. I think he's upset quite a lot of people in the military, the fact that he's just handed it all away. Not to step down and go live in South Africa and follow up charitable works. No, to become Hollywood Harry. In that last video, I did mention one of my favourite pictures of William and Catherine is when they went to Pakistan. I did say India. I did get that confused. Someone has kindly picked me up on that. When they did their Pakistan tour, there was a gorgeous picture of them, which was taken behind from the photographer. Well, guess what crops up in this one? Of course, Chris Allerton has managed to capture a shot of Harry and Meghan from behind. Copycat, copycat. Catherine and William did it better. Another thing I don't agree with Harry's behaviour for the night, I found him really slouchy, as I said, but the fact that he's holding Meghan's hand, I found that completely unprofessional in every sort of way. He's there on a royal engagement, he's there as military. You don't walk around holding your partner's hand. If you're at a ball and you're drinking afterwards, you're dancing together, sure, that's absolutely fine. But he was walking into there holding her hand. Well, basically, she was towing him along. And I know from social media and reading various comments that quite a few people weren't happy with this. And I know it's not just me making this up. He is there representing his position as Captain General of the Royal Marines. He behaved like a child on a date, like a teenager in dress up. So I think that Harry paying his last respects, he looked really sad, he looked upset, but I think there was no excuses for him to do this. I think he could have been a hell of a lot more professional than what he was. It isn't about laying into Harry or laying into Meghan. It's about showing respect for all of those military personnel. It is them showing respect to him and him showing respect back. And I think he failed at that. As I said, there was no footage of them actually leaving the event. As I said, I believe this is for crowd control. But judging by this picture, I think there might have been a few members of public that have said something. Meghan looks absolutely furious. Whether Harry is basically getting it in the ear because he looks miserable as sin, I don't know. But they certainly don't look like the happy, loved-up couple that walked into the building, do they? So today there were pictures of Harry and Meghan going to a church service at Windsor with the Queen. I personally believe this is potentially the first time Meghan stepped foot in church since she got married. She changed her religion to be with Harry. I think it was like the third time she changed religions. She seems to do it with every husband. And I have to say, she's grinning ear to ear in the car. Harry is driving and he looks miserable. He looks like he's been crying his eyes out. He just looks completely broken. She's manically grinning. There is something very off with this couple. I believe that Harry's upset. Maybe he's actually really sinking in what he's leaving behind. Meghan's not exactly been around supporting him lately. She's not been coming to these events with him. She's left him to deal with Megxit all on his own. And maybe now the reality is he is leaving behind everything. He is giving absolute everything up. There's not much more that he could give up to be with Meghan, and she's given up nothing. She was being written out suits, but she's kept all of her PR, she's kept all of her agents, she's kept her lawyers, she's kept her, basically her social media blogs, she kept everything. She kept it on the quiet, she kept it hidden, but she didn't shut down anything. And as we all know, she's been using the Sussex Royal Instagram account as the TIG 2.0. She has been using it as her personal social media account. Today, for example, there was a video released. This is where she had a film crew with her walking around the school, and if you've actually watched it, I can't show it here because I'll get done for copyright infringement, but if you go onto the Sussex Royal Instagram, make sure that they don't automatically make you follow them, which they seem to do with people once you select cookies or something. But if you watch this video, it's purely Meghan. The entire video, it's not about the girls or the boys in the school, it's nothing. Every single shot is all Meghan, and this is what it's always been. It's always been about Meghan. Meghan's ego was never going to allow her to settle into the royal family, but she's come in, she's got everything that she's wanted, she's left, she's got the prince, she's got the baby, she's got the money, she's got the fame, she's got the notoriety, she's got the platform, she's got literally everything that she wanted. So no wonder she's grinning ear to ear. But I am truly beginning to wonder if Harry is having regrets. Plus, as I've said in my previous videos, I don't think it's a healthy relationship. I think Harry is in a very, very controlled relationship. I would go as far to say an abusive relationship. You're watching a man slowly break down, and I really do fear for what his life is going to be like in the coming years. I still find it absolutely disgusting that they didn't bring Archie over as well. Just the fact that Philip, couple of years left at best. I know it's an awful thing to say, but you've got to be realistic. He nearly died at Christmas. The Queen is getting on along a bit. There is no reason why they couldn't have brought that child over to say goodbye to his family, for his brother, for his nieces, his nephews, his cousins. Everyone would have loved to have seen Archie. So it's got to make you think, why are they hiding Archie? Why would they not bring him to this final farewell? It feeds into the rumours that they are absolutely hiding something. That's why the child is not here. I don't think the Queen would ever exercise the rules that she would take Archie away from Meghan and Harry, but there is a reason why they've not brought him. And for Harry, that was so, he wanted a family, maybe that's why he's been crying, maybe he misses his son, but I just can't understand why Meghan would not want them to be a family on this final farewell tour. Here's a little bit of a palate cleanser for you guys. I hope this makes you smile. I believe this kitten is confused as Harry will be one day, not quite understanding the situation he's just put himself in. So obviously they've been back for a few days, they've upset Camilla, they've upset Charles, they've no doubt going to upset and step on a few more toes, I'm pretty sure of it. So be prepared for the Commonwealth service, which is happening tomorrow. I think there's going to be a lot of scarves, and for us sitting at home waiting, I think we're all going to need a serious big bag of popcorn because it's going to be frosty. So I will be filming tomorrow once we've watched the Commonwealth service, and I'll be back with you, and I'm going to do a few more videos during the week next week. Talking about other things, not Harry and Meghan, to give us all a nice refreshing break. So I'll be back with you really soon. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers for time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.